Tariq Anwar ji, K.C. Venugopal ji, Mullapalli Ramachandran ji, Uman Chandy ji, Ramesh Chennithala ji, P.K. Kunyalekutti ji, P.J. Joseph ji, A.A. Aziz ji, M.M. Hassan ji, Shashi Tharoor ji, Adur Prakash ji, N. Sanal ji, the DCC president, all the leaders on the dais, party workers, friends from the media, I'd like to welcome all of you here this evening. It is an honor for me to be here today and to be part of the concluding section of the Aishwarya Kerala Yatra on its final day. Over the last 23 days, Ramesh Chennithala ji has led the Yatra, and the idea of this Yatra was to listen to the voice of Kerala. And when I say listen to the voice of Kerala, I don't mean listen to just one voice. I mean listen to the millions of voices that make up this beautiful state. This Yatra is an attempt to merge ourselves with the people of Kerala, to listen to what the farmers have to say, to listen to the voice of the students, to listen to the fear of the voice of the fishermen who feel concerned and betrayed, to listen to what our elders have to say, and to listen to what our mothers and sisters have to say. The spirit of the Yatra was one of humility, not of arrogance. We did not come to you and tell you we know everything that has to be done. We came to you and we bowed in front of you and we listened to your voice. And I'm happy to say that we learnt a lot from you. And it has been my experience now, since I've been an MP, I have also got to understand a little bit about the wisdom of the people of Kerala. See, for the first 15 years, I was a member of parliament in the north. So I had got used to a different type of politics. And for me, coming to Kerala was very refreshing, because suddenly I found that people are interested in issues, and not just superficially, but going into detail in issues. And recently I was talking to some students in the United States and I said, I really enjoy going to Kerala and I really love going to Wayanad. It is not just the affection, because affection of course is there, but it is the way you do your politics. If I might say so, the intelligence with which you do your politics. So for me it has been a learning experience and a pleasure. Today I want to tell you a little bit about the battle that is going on in our country and in this state. Of course, I speak to the Congress worker, but I want to speak to everybody in Kerala. I want to speak to the students who are worried and cannot understand why they are unable to get a job. To the students who are wondering why they have to protest in front of the legislator. Also to the fishermen who, when they leave in the morning, suddenly read in the newspaper that their government is working to destroy their livelihood. Instead of helping them, some days ago I made a speech in parliament where I said, Hum do, hamare do. Meaning, 4 people are running the national government. Brothers and sisters, this country is too great, too big to be controlled by 4 people. And if we look towards Delhi, we find that step after step after step that the Prime Minister has taken is designed to weaken the fabric of our country. Lakhs of crores of rupees are given to the wealthiest people. Every time you read the newspaper, the wealthiest are getting tax breaks. They did demonetization took money from poor people's pockets. They did a GST, 5 different taxes, 28% tax, again, for those same 4 or 5 people. And then in Corona, when our workers, with folded hands, asked the Prime Minister for a railway ticket, for a bus ticket, the Prime Minister says no. He's not ready to give our workers 300 rupees, but he gives 1,50,000 crore rupees to the richest business people. At the same time, over the last 6 years, the backbone, the job creation backbone of this country has been broken, smashed into pieces. Who are the people who give India jobs? Small businesses, middle-sized businesses, shopkeepers, farmers. These are the people that give this great country jobs. Young entrepreneurs, they give this country jobs. And over the last 5 years, a systematic campaign to take away what belongs to them and give it to the richest in the land. Ask any small businessman, ask any middle-sized businessman, ask any farmer whether demonetization helped him, whether GST helped him. And they will all answer in one voice, no, they did not. And now they have passed 3 new farm laws. The first one to destroy farmers' markets. The second one to allow the biggest businesses in the country to hoard as much grain, as much vegetable, as much fruit as they want. To allow unlimited hoarding. These 2 laws, they're designed to control the price of grain, of vegetables and rice. And they have only one aim. Their aim is to make sure the farmer does not get the right price for his grain, for his vegetable and for his fruit. That everybody, middle class people, farmers, workers, laborers, have to pay more for their food. And the third law is the most interesting. It says simply that if a farmer wants to contest his price, he cannot do so in a court of law. So the first 2 laws destroy the agricultural system, and the third law says that the farmer cannot get justice. And that is why lakhs and lakhs of farmers are protesting in this country. And what does the Prime Minister say? He says they are terrorists. I fight the BJP. I fight the ideology of the RSS every single day. Every step I take, I'm telling you, every step I take, the BJP attacks me. Right now they're watching this speech and they're saying, okay, what is it that we can say to attack him? So there's one thing I don't understand. Why is it that the cases that are there against the left front government, against a person who works in the chief minister's office, are progressing so slowly? Why is it taking so long? Why is the CBI, the ED, all these other institutions not attacking the left front? I am a bit confused about this. Because I know when you fight the BJP attacks you all the time, 24 hours a day. There is only one reason the BJP is going slow on these cases. You can figure out what that reason is. The most dynamic state of Kerala has its youngsters wondering why they can't get jobs. Dynamic state with the most brilliant youngsters, and they are asking themselves, why is it that we can't get a job? The left front said they will make Kerala perfect. Question is, perfect for whom? Perfect for the people of Kerala or perfect for the left organization? If you're one of their people, every single job is available to you. If you carry their flag, any amount of smuggling of gold is allowed. You can sit in the chief minister's office and do that job. But if you're a young Keralite, then you have to protest and shout and scream to try and get your right. Then there is only one way to fight nepotism. It is called a hunger strike. Then the chief minister does not care if you die, he's not going to come and speak to you.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not a left front worker. I guarantee you, if those youngsters were left front workers, the chief minister would be sitting there talking to them right now, giving them every single job that they don't deserve. And when the Congress workers and the people of Kerala try to fight non-violently, you beat them and you kill them. Don't worry, there are many, many, many Congress workers who will continue to fight you. You can kill as many of us as you want. We are not scared of your violence. We are not scared of your methods. But we will never use them. So that is the broad situation in the state. We are building a people's manifesto. It is not a UDF manifesto. It is a manifesto of the people of Kerala. We are meeting thousands and thousands of people, asking them what they want the UDF government to do for them. And you are telling us what you want us to do. In some time, you will see the result of this work that we have done. You will have a document that we can all be proud of, and it will contain the voice of the people of Kerala. In that document will be the idea of Nyaya, a minimum amount of money that we will guarantee to all our people. There will be a line that will speak about cashless treatment for our people. There will be a line that will speak about insurance for everybody. And I guarantee you, there will be no line in that manifesto that will say, we will work with people who are trying to destroy the lives of fishermen. There will be no line over there that will say we are going to destroy the lives of the farmers like our Prime Minister is trying to do. And there will be no line in our manifesto that will say that everything we do is for our organization. And it is going to be our commitment to make sure that what we promise, we do for you. It is not going to be empty words, it is going to be a guarantee. Finally, I would like to mention one last thing, which is possibly the most important thing. I spoke about how both the state government and the central government are weakening the common man, destroying small and medium businesses, destroying shopkeepers, destroying farmers. I want you to ask yourself a simple question. The price of oil internationally is down, is falling. But the price of petrol and diesel in India keeps going up. Thousands and thousands of crores of rupees are being taken from your pockets every single day. From the pockets of farmers, from our youth, from our sisters, from our mothers. Thousands and thousands of crores are being taken away by the government. Where is this money going? To whom is this money being given? It is going to the richest people in the land. Every single day when you go and fill fuel in your scooter, in your tractor, in your car, remember this, that your governments, both the state government and the central government, are taking money from your pocket and giving it to the richest people in the country. This is the politics that we're trying to change. We want to go to a politics that works for poor people, not for our organization or for the richest people in the country. That is the difference between us and our opponents. I'd like to thank all of you for coming here this evening. And I'm very confident that all the workers and leaders of the UDF are going to make sure that we sweep the election in Kerala and form a government of the people. Thank you.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, Our super supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.